Just sitting in my kitchen watching the news, drinking some coffee, and realizing that our culture is collapsing, and nowhere more egregiously than in the area of race relations. What are we doing? What is going on? I don't claim to have the answer or the cure for anybody, any circumstance, any situation, but my wife and I, Kathy, we received a gift a few years ago, and maybe I can share it with you. I was serving as a youth pastor in western Kansas, small rural town Hays, and God called us to go to school, and we went to Fort Worth to go to seminary. And when we did, we moved from rural Kansas to big city and lived in a very ethnically diverse neighborhood for about 8 years. And when we went, we realized we didn't have a racist thought or a bigoted bone in our body, but it was awkward because we'd go to places and stores where we were the minority, and all of a sudden we felt weird, a little intimidated. And we began to recognize that we weren't overtly racist, but that by lack of exposure, we weren't the people that we needed to be ministers, or I believe even to be human and just get along. And because of that, we made a commitment to hang out there. And over the next 8 years, it became less awkward, less intimidating, and actually, the vast majority of our time there, it became home. It was comfortable. It was great to be a part of a giant melting pot. Now, I don't have the cure, the clue, or the answer for anybody. I already said that. But let me offer two things that I think will help. Because I don't think our race relations issues are going to be solved by public policy or legislation. That never works. But if we can fix us individually, then we fix the problem. So here's number one. You need some friends that don't look like you, that didn't grow up like you, that maybe don't talk like you and don't have the same interests as you. And this goes on both sides of the fence. Red and yellow, black and white, we are all precious in His sight. We all need to be striving to have friends outside of our homogeneous group. It's just a part of it. Proximity is going to help. Second, you need to quit criticizing. We need to quit criticizing and undermining what we don't understand. Places you haven't been, experiences you haven't had, situations you have not been in. And this, again, goes on both sides of the fence. Until you walk a mile in someone's shoes, or you have a close personal friend who's walked those shoes and you are sharing the burden with them, how about we do this? We just listen. You see, the problem is we hear people and we disagree and we get angry and we have an inflammatory comeback. But the reality is that you really aren't disagreeing so much as you're not understanding one another. If we would just listen to each other and maybe give each other the benefit of the doubt, imagine how much further down the road we'd get. Thomas à Kempis said hundreds of years ago in the book, The Imitation of Christ, love all for Jesus, but Jesus for Himself. If we just did that, if we just loved everybody for Jesus' sake, I know not everybody out there is a believer. If you just love some people, imagine how far that would get us down the road. I don't have an answer. I can't fix the circumstance of the situation. Wrongs have been done. Hurts have been made. The situation is dire. But the only way we're going to fix it is me to you, one-on-one. Praying for all of us today. We're not hopeless, but we can see the edge from here. Let's turn it around. God bless you. Praying for you, me, and all of us today. Bye.